Al, what's up?
Hey, Rob, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. I just think what's it been like for you to kind of get the band back together, so to speak, and your opportunity to get with some guys you played with and lace it up starting tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's been fun. With Ryan coaching the team, and then Lewis and Kelsey being guys that I played with, and then guys like AJ Hammonds and Isaac, who I've just watched play a ton, and then kind of mix that in with the other guys that maybe aren't Purdue guys, but have been really good fits for the team. It's been a lot of fun, playing and trying to put together something in a short period of time, but also, I think we've got a good group, so I think we've had a lot of fun.
How day 4 of your mini camp? I get you guys started on Monday. How has that gone? And how much do you know basketball better than anybody, but in terms of how to get everybody to mesh and do what you kind of think you need to do to be successful, how's that gone?
Yeah, it's been good. For this tournament, it's one of those deals where you've got to put out a good 5-on-5 product, but do it in a really short amount of time. So it's certainly a challenge to whether it's learn the plays or decide how you want to guard pick and roll. For me, it's been different just running up and down the floor. I haven't done it a lot, so that's
Yeah.
been a big adjustment in terms of playing 5-on-5 and understanding that you have to play a little bit different style, especially defensively, because in 3-on-3 you just don't help. You can't give up twos, which are actually threes. You can't give up, the shots behind the arc. So it's been an adjustment, but I do think that everybody's done a good job and everybody wants what's best for the team. So it's been good.
So you've been able to beat that notion of going to the free throw line and going backwards. You've overcome that hurdle as a player here in terms of what you had to do on 3-on-3.
Yes,
Tell me about you're going to play in a 3-point shooting contest. Tell us a little bit about that, and that'll be Thursday afternoon.
Yes.
But tell us what you got next with that.
Yeah, so Lewis is rebounding for me. I'm sure he'll give max effort. If he doesn't, I'm going to have a chat with him. I know he's going to. But yeah, I guess you just got to make 11. I think you start at half court and you run in, you can shoot from wherever, and it's timed. And I believe, I don't know how many of the top 4 go to Dayton or top 6, or is it top 4 advance to Dayton to do like
so you're qualifying. Final. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, to win the, I think, $33,000 prize. So that'll be fun. Hope I'll make some shots.
How about guys that in terms of your teammates? Everybody in terms of is what you see is what you get, so to speak, in terms of your expectations. I mean, obviously you've got Lewis and they're being coached by Ryan, guys that you played with, but these are other guys you've probably played pickup with over the years. But what's that been like, and what are we going to see tomorrow night against the Ballinteers?
Yeah, no, I think it's a lot of what you see is what you get, or what you expect to see is what you've gotten. Certainly, I think with Kelsey, I think he's shooting the ball better than I saw him at Purdue. But he also shot the ball better or maybe not a ton better percentage-wise, but I thought he was a better shooter at UIC. He was at Purdue. He's certainly made strides in that. Lewis Jackson is still a great point guard, big-time speed. Ryan has transitioned well to coach. He's doing a great. Although, you know what, with Ryan, it's messed up. He played with us on Monday, and he was looking pretty good. He's not going to play. So, I don't know. He looks like he might still have some stuff in the tank for us. But yeah, I think it's, for the most part, what you see is what you get.
Yeah. When you have you've got a pretty large inside presence with Isaac and with AJ and Ryan being able to try to figure out how that goes, how you're going to work that from a strategic standpoint. What do we expect to see? You got an inside-out game with this team with Kyle Mangus and others that can shoot the ball. You talked about Kelsey on down the line, but what are you going to see on this inside? I mean, that gives you a strategic advantage, one would think, if you can maximize it in this tournament.
Totally. We certainly are big, and we have guys that can really score. I think, first of all, it starts with the 4 other guys on the floor. Throw the ball inside of those guys. If they're open and they have good position, the ball has to go in. Sometimes I think bigs have a tendency to maybe leak out towards the perimeter, and every once in a while, all right, that's okay, but let's remember where the bread is buttered. But we gotta get those guys the ball, and we got to get them the ball in positions where they can be successful. And I think certainly it's one of those deals where if the help comes, they've got to kick it out to guys that are going to be ready to shoot. It's kind of basketball 101. Sometimes it's easier said than done. But I do think that, yeah, that's definitely a way we can play. And it's definitely going to be a big part of what we do tomorrow.
Yeah, you look at that, and what do you? And I know it's a little bit hard to scout. The Volunteers have got some familiar names and guys that you know, and obviously in your other day job of being an analyst. But this is going to be a good 8-9 matchup, one would think, tomorrow night.
Yeah, it'll be tough. I know last time we were out there with those guys, there was some chirping, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that. They're obviously have had really good teams there, whether it's the team we played against in the Virgin Islands or the team that Purdue saw in the Sweet 16, or even the team they saw at the Battle for Atlantis. There's kind of guys that have been plucked from each of those teams. So Purdue and Tennessee have an interesting history over the course of the last decade, and I think it's not a coincidence that the committee chose to put us together. And then what do you know? We got Ohio State waiting in round 2 probably. So that would be if we can get through Tennessee. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a really good game. It's going to be really competitive, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I know our guys are too.
Yeah, Robbie, is it helpful at all to start a little bit later and kind of get a feel for how these games are being officiated, how like the flow of this tournament?
I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't seen a whole lot of the games, so I haven't seen a whole lot of the way it's being officiated. And we watched a little bit before the NBA Finals the other night, but to me, it's basketball. I know it's going to be really physical. I've watched it before. They're going to let you play, but whether we played last week or this week, I don't think it matters.
I know a lot of people from around my part of the state are kind of curious about where Kyle Mangus is going to end up as a professional. What have you seen from him? A guy coming from the NAIA level, where do you think his ceiling is as a pro?
Yeah, he certainly can really score it. He can really shoot it. And I think for him, it's certainly going to be one of those things where you might have to work your way up in the ranks, whether that's in Europe or the G League or whatever route he chooses to go. But he certainly is talented. He's got ability. He's got good size. He's a pretty good athlete. He's scored the ball in camp. So I think he's definitely got a chance. But, when you look at things overseas, it's kind of a crapshoot. Guys you think are going to do great sometimes don't. Guys you don't maybe think are the best players end up having great overseas careers. So he definitely has the ability, but it's going to be an interesting kind of journey for him to watch.
Ryan, I think I'm set from that standpoint. Zach, I didn't mean to jump in front of you there, but anything else from your?
No, I'm good too. I thank you for the time, Robbie.
Yeah, of course. You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
And all right.
Well, we've got 2 more guests for you guys. Lewis Jackson's up next, and then we'll have Coach Ryne Smith.
Sounds good.
Go ahead. All right, well, Lou's ready if you guys have questions.
Zach, go ahead. I jumped in one time last time. Go ahead.
Thanks. Lewis, what are your thoughts on the roster after being together for about a week? How much talent do you think that there is on the court here, and how far can you go in this thing?
We have a talented roster. I think both Ryan's the coach and Ryan K, general manager, did well. We got size. We can go inside. We got enough shooters. I know people may be wondering, do we have enough shooters? But with Kyle, Frank, I think a lot of people will be excited when they see Rashad James as a late addition to us. He's athletic. He can shoot the ball well. Kelsey's shooting it well. Obviously, Rob and Ed all can shoot the ball well. And we have a nice flow of guards that can defend, pass. So we'll be able to play at a high pace, be able to play at a slow pace. We can pretty much play any way in this tournament, which I think will also allow us to have a deep run. I think we got a good chance of winning it.
Robbie was talking about the size. How much does that make your job easier in the backcourt?
Oh, it's amazing for me. I mean, just because I am smaller. So some guys may try to post up at times, but having those big presence down there just to block shots, that's also going to allow our guards to press up, and we can pressure a little bit more because we kind of have that safety net now, because guys are going to still see Isaac and AJ, and they're going to second guess themselves by going to the rim. So it allows us to play a little bit more physical, aggressive. And if we get blocks, we can run out, or we can get some steals and get some easy buckets as well.
Are you happy with the first round matchup?
I mean, I can't complain. I mean, you obviously call a spade a spade. We feel like we could have been a higher seed, maybe, but everybody can play in this tournament, so maybe it's a good thing that we're going to play them first, so we know it's intensity out the gate, and we can't slack or just have that mentality like, oh, it's the first round just to get by, and we just use it to our advantage.
Lewis, about your inside guys, obviously you're going to be, you had inside players obviously when you played as well at Purdue, but you've got pretty large inside presence with AJ and Isaac, and tell us about how that, your role, what's going to be the mentality of this team as you look at things offensively come tomorrow night.
Oh, with those big guys, I mean, Juwan was 6'10", so I got to play with Juwan. He was more athletic, more skinnier size. So now you're playing with Isaac. Like, I literally went behind Isaac one time in a pick and roll, and I got lost. So guys couldn't see me, and he just takes up so much space. And you hear everybody say just how physically draining it is to just try to guard Isaac on the offensive end and deal with him on the inside. So, and AJ can pick and pop. Isaac actually shot the ball well. We want him to roll more, but he actually hit a couple stretch threes, so that's even scary for the bigs that may have to worry about defending if he pops, which allows more lanes for us. But having those two inside, you just know you have a go-to bucket. If things get hectic, hey, we're going to slow it down. Let's throw it inside. Either you get fouled, make a layup, or now you create space for the guards to get an easy shot. So it's just the best safety blankets we could have in security moments. Just throw it inside and let those guys do what they do.
How about your role as a point guard, but also as a guy that's never shy to at least state your opinion on the court? But you've got a head coach that's a colleague as well. But you got to maneuver guys a little bit from a professional. I mean, from a protege standpoint, maybe that's easy to do. But tell me about how keep guys motivated, keep them focused on moving in the right direction. What's your role with that?
It's actually fun. I forgot. I was telling Ryne Smith. I always mess when I call him coach now. I won't call him Ryan when he's around. I call him coach now. But I was just him and Rob, and I was like, yo, I forgot how much fun I enjoy, like orchestrating guys, like talking a little bit, like joking with guys, but orchestrating and getting to know them. And the familiarity with some of these guys already made it so much easier. It's like if I redshirted my sophomore year and I tore my foot, I had big AJ Hammons. We already had that relationship. So now it's just coming out on the court. Me and Isaac, just kind of the reputation from Purdue. Isaac knows how I am as a point guard. So when I talk, he does give me that respect and he's listening to me. So that's been fun. And the guys that we also brought in, I've always played against Frank Gaines. So it was easy for me to tell Frank Gaines, like, hey, man, I always want to pass you the ball in the wing and shoot a three. I know your game already. So it's been fun for me just kind of already knowing these guys' games. And I think they're kind of shocked too that I know so much about them and I've been keeping up with them. And it's been super fun for me.
Yeah. Ryan, that's it for me. Lewis, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We've got Coach Ryne Smith up here, and then I'll be happy to stick around if you've got any questions for me after.
Good.
What's up, fellas?
Hello there.
Hello.
Zach, go ahead, Zach. It's all yours.
Thank you again. How do you feel about the talent you have on this roster?
Well, really good. Really good. It's a great group of guys. Obviously got a couple legends on the roster. Really, really good guys who are not Purdue guys to shape it out as well. So camp's been really good. It's been exciting. Just really ready to get going at 7 p.m. tomorrow.
I know I asked Robbie about this. We had a lot of people in our area are kind of wondering how Kyle Mangus is going to stack up against these big college guys and people with pro experience. What have you seen out of him specifically?
The biggest thing that jumps out is like supreme confidence. I think that's what you get with a scorer like that. He walked into a gym with 10 other professional basketball players and just was really, really good, really confident, didn't get phased, wasn't nervous, and had a really good camp so far, making shots, attacking the rim and scoring off the bounce. So just a really impressive kid, even better person from what I've got to know him in the last 4 days. And I expect really big things out of him for sure. All
right. Last one quick from me here. The matchup in the first round, maybe a lower seed than you guys maybe deserve, but how excited are you for this matchup against another passionate college fan base?
Oh, it's going to be great. And I don't know if the seeding is a big deal as people are kind of making it out to be. I think this tournament, you're going to find great players all over the country that are going to be in this tournament, and really competitive dudes who are trying to earn a contract with their play. So I'm not too concerned about that. What I am concerned with is Lamonte Turner, Wayne Chisholm, Chris Lofton, all those guys. So they're a really good team. I think Rob kind of gave you the rundown of the history between the two teams, earlier. So it's going to be a great game. It's going to be really competitive, high level of competition. Like I found in the bubble last year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
What kind of adjusting did you have to do this week, just in terms of guys coming in and being able to get your roster the way you want it, and from Monday to Thursday, how has that gone for you?
It's been really good. It's been good. I think, unfortunately, with a couple of the guys that weren't able to get here, it was not like a huge adjustment. I think Ryan did a really good job of finding guys that can fill some shoes, fill the roster spots. And Ty Nash from Notre Dame, he's been overseas for a while. He's with us. He's going to be a huge addition to back up our fives. Really good, solid player. And the guys, they make it easy on me. My job is very simple. It's just kind of organize things and let them go to work. So it's a great learning experience, and it's really professional development for me learning from those guys. So it's been great.
Yeah, and you're missing from the original John Octius and
Jaquil.
Yep. Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
And who else replaced besides Ty?
So Rashad James and Cam Delaney. Actually, I got a great connection with Cam Delaney. He was the Southland Player of the Year as a senior at Sam Houston State. So they were in our conference, and we got a lot of the same stories for the towns we visited in that conference. So it's he's really gotten more confident as the week's been going on too, and is really going to help us.
Good. Okay, that's it for me. Zach, anything else for you?
Nope, I'm good. Are you gonna try to lock up Ray Davis for next season?
We're trying to get him, man, in some capacity. We need him to jump on board for sure. So we'd love to see Ray donning the gold and black again. That would be great.
All right, that's it for me. Thanks for talking with us.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Good luck.
All right, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, you had to scramble a little bit to get some guys this week, it sounds like, but that's kind of been your role, putting this all together. That's been a challenge, but how's that gone for you?
Yeah, there's a stressful 24-hour period there where we got some news that we knew we were going to have to find some replacements, but it's helped a lot kind of having some close connections with some of the other TBT GMs. In fact, all of the guys we added were two of the three we added were from referrals from other TBT GMs. And then Ty Nash was a friend of a friend from Robbie. So just good to have connections, and, having the Purdue branding, I think, helps a lot. Even though these aren't Purdue guys, they were really interested in playing with us because they know our following. And I think, as Ryan mentioned, we just have a great group. That was one of the main things that we wanted to do here, at least when we had to find these guys real quick. We didn't want to disrupt the team that we had and the chemistry that we had already kind of built. And all three of these guys we added kind of last minute just are great human beings.
Good. All right. Well, hey, Ryan, good luck. That's it for me.
Zach, you got anything?
I'm good. Thanks for setting this up.
Yeah, I'll send the. Yeah.